Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Got a Crossout video for us today, guys. Now in today's video we are going to be going over this split Satori car in front of us. Now the reason I wanted to do this video is because a few Battlefield Uraniums ago, the one that was at 9k, I played against these builds and I had a very hard time dealing with them. So I figured I wanted to go over the build just to show off how powerful it is at low power score, because on paper, at least, this thing should be basically busted because nothing since that Battlefield Uranium on this build at least has been nerfed. So what makes it so strong? We've got two splits. Now, splits are still absolutely busted in the game as far as I'm concerned. They deal an incredible amount of damage. Now, not only do they have the damage from the guns, but this build has damage from a Jackie, a Satori, then we've got a full boss damage, and we've got the perk of the gun, which is an additional 15% in its like single shot mode. Now with the splits and the Jackie, you will deal from just two guns, bear in mind that's like 16 energy, only two weapons. You will deal 950 damage a salvo. Now again, that's before Satori, that's before full boss, and that's before the weapon pick. So you can probably get it up to like, I don't know, 1,500 a shot. Basically means that they're absolutely ridiculous in terms of their damage. That is an insane amount of damage for only like 16 energy, which means they're incredibly powerful at lower power score, because 950 damage at low power score is basically at 9,000 power score at least is enough to one-shot practically everything. Not only do they have incredible damage, but they've also got really good durability. Like, for example, this build is a very small build, but look how small the hitbox of the gun is. And for that small hitbox, when they're fused, they have 430 durability. That's really, really good. And the build itself, you can put it on, this build has a Jaggy, but you can quite easily put it on a normal Mori, and then you basically just never have to worry about the gun getting one-shotted. And like last Battlefield Uranium that was at 9k, this thing was just absolutely a menace. It was incredibly hard to deal with just because the build is incredibly strong. We've got widgets are really good. They have really good power in their lower leg mode, really good durability in their upper leg mode. They are definitely the meta movement part at the moment. We've got the Satori works incredibly well with this build just because it's incredibly fast, and you're normally chasing and running away anyway, so you do get the drifting perk quite regularly. What else we got? We got a cheetah. The cheetah on this build mixed with the cloak is actually a really good idea, because this build is essentially just an assassination build. You drive forward, you cloak up, you attack someone, and then you run away. So the cheetah recharging your cloak is really quite helpful, and it means that you get the cloak quite regularly for something that's at 9k. Bear in mind, 9,000 power score, most of your enemies don't even have like an Oculus or a verifier. So you being like a really quick assassin build that has, nearly 1,000 damage a shot is really, really powerful. Now, people who look at this build might think that it's just, a strong overall build, but the thing that makes this particular creation really overpowered, in my opinion, is the hitbox. You might not, notice this like when you're just looking at it from a distance, but the hitbox of the weapons in combination with mounting it behind the Satori is actually what makes this thing borderline overpowered. Just because they're incredibly difficult to actually hit the guns. A lot of weapons, when you're shooting at the splits here, will end up hitting the Satori cabin itself. And if you do hit the Satori cabin here, for example, with say a cannon shot, odds are none of the explosive damage is going to actually travel to this. Also, bear in mind that you can use widgets in the upper leg mode if you want. If say someone is in front of you and you want to just get a little bit more height just to throw off their shot, you could just easily hit the widget perk and just bumps your build up, making the guns even harder to hit. And that's kind of what makes this build so difficult to deal with, is that you can't really just get a shot on the weapons unless you run in hit scan weapons like destructors or something. These guns are really hard to shoot off, and even if you are running destructor weapons, then you could just run this on a normal Mori build and like tank, two destructor shots probably quite easily. So yeah, I wanted to try this build out just to point out that splits probably are still overpowered and they need a nerf. So we'll jump into the usual 6 or 7 games of PvP now just to test out how strong this thing is. Right, coming in split build, let's see what you got, shall we? Now this build should do really, really well, just because none of it has been nerfed since last I saw it. And in the last Battlefield Uranium at 9k, even I was having a lot of trouble dealing with these bloody things. And Jesus, this thing doesn't offset off. The speed is outrageous. Oh, there's a drone guy. Let's go find him. That's not a drone guy, but we'll push him anyway. Well, now I know where the drone guy is. Come here. A split guy, I'm ignoring him. I'll come for him after I strip the drone guy. The hell is this? 700 damage from that range, that's ridiculous. Oh, I see the armor pack, I want it. Ooh, I almost had that. Nice. Where's the last guy? There's a guy on base, obviously, but there's another guy. Hello, goodbye. Oh, this thing's... Well, that didn't feel fair. Alright, well, our first game felt very unfair. I swear, the mobility of this build is insane. Just the general power and acceleration of it. It's ridiculous. This is probably the most agile build I can think I've played since like a cockpit booster. It just absolutely flies. Because you've got a, what, Satori with a Jackie on the cab. And you've got a cheater engine, so it's just absolutely bombing. Well, I didn't mean to want to go for him, but I'm out here. Give me one gun. Ooh, that was... I'm surprised this gun survived that. Alright, that's one gun. Oh, he's stripped, okay. Ha! I'm coming, mate. I immobilized him. Okay. I wasn't even shooting for frames. Bloody hell. Okay, I'm just running defense. Get rid of that. Oh, we got our single shot now. We should just absolutely... Yep, there we go. Phew, the single shot. Feels like a guaranteed 1,000 damage. Oh, that's ridiculous. I know the game has kind of moved on from splits being overpowered, but they're still really overpowered. Like, just because people have stopped complaining about them as much doesn't mean that the problem has gone away. These things are just ridiculous. Two tiny guns like this, like 950 damage a shot minimum. Before we get Phobos and Satori and the weapon perk and all of it. Yeah. Minimum of 950 for two very small shotguns. What are you? Okay, I'm gonna get away from him. Yep, there we go. All you gotta do is just drive around and stack the, Oh, it's a bloody harvester. Sorry, mate. The damage of these things is insane. I like how it actually lifts the guy up from the floor. Ah, it's not okay. That's really not okay. Yeah, for anyone who's wondering if the build is just strong or if it's because I'm like experienced at the game, bear in mind there are two things in Crossout that I'm truly terrible at. First is artillery, and the second is shotguns. I'm rubbish at shotguns. So the build doing well is just because the build is that strong, and the weapons in particular are that strong. Not because I'm experienced on them at all. They can carry even me. Oh, that sucks. Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. We got our cloak back already because cheetah. And full boss. Come here, sir. Alright, nice. Now I do not need to worry. Am I on single shot mode? Yeah. Almost lifted a guy's build into space. I thought I took all three for a second, I only took two. This thing is ridiculous. Where the hell? Okay. He's dead, he's just like... There we go. Yeah, the cheetah and the full boss on this build was a really good idea. Because it's basically just like an assassin build. You know, you pop out a cloak, do all your damage, and then go back into cloak. So the cheetah really helps as well. Alright. He is our victim number 1. What? What did I just hit? Cloak, cloak, cloak. Whatever, come here. Gotta get a destruct out the way because that thing is terrifying. Okay, use my... That's annoying. Alright, he's done. Hello. Oh, I didn't take anything out. It's good. Yeah, that's basically what you do in this build. You're so mobile that you just run around and be a distraction as much as anything. Where is he? Oh. Yeah, these splits, they definitely need a nerf, man. Like, they've got... Not only do they have crazy damage, and I mean crazy damage, put 2 of them on a jockey and it's 950 damage minimum, you know? That's before we get the Satori, full boss, and the actual, like, perk of the gun. But they've also got crazy good durability for their tiny hitbox. I mean... I'll decloak myself. Look how small that hitbox is above the carbine, man. And they got 420 dura somehow. Alright, we need to go now. I'm trying to pick my moment to go in, but whereby I won't get, like, immediately bursted by everyone who turns around. Right, we can just pick this guy off now. If we could land our shots. Crash into him so he can't run away. There we go. It's not nice, but it's effective. There goes one of your dooms. And there goes one of your Sharons. Like I said, the guns just don't bloody come off. How did I miss that shot? I land the difficult shots and I miss the easy ones. Even a Doom car can't run away from me on this. Oh my god, yeah. What? What? Look at the range. Yeah, these guns are still broken. Jesus Christ. It's insane. I just build... Oh, let's build... These things really need a nerf. Just the general run, I think the Dura needs a nerf, and I think the damage needs a nerf. That's interesting. What even is that thing? I can't tell where the guns are. Okay, I stripped it, but I don't know where I was shooting. I was just hoping for the best, to be honest. But he's stripped. Come in, mate. What? 800 damage. Come on, man. 600 damage. And he's dead. If anyone's watching, it's like, that doesn't seem very balanced. Like, no, it's not. It really isn't, no. You know, considering there's 16 energy worth of guns, nope, that's not very balanced at all. Right, and that is it for the split Satori car. As you guys can see from the games, this thing is absolutely disgusting at low power score, to be honest. Most of that is because of the splits themselves. The fact that you can hide it so well behind a Satori is kind of like an extra, but the guns just need a nerf. They've got far too much durability for such a small hitbox, and they have way too much damage. Like 1,000 damage a shot for only 16 energy is just absolutely ridiculous. Just because I think the developers haven't got around to nerfing it, just because... most of the community is kind of just like been preoccupied with how OP like some of the other things are in the game. But yeah, this really still needs a change soon, because at low power score it's pay to win abusing basically. So yeah, thanks all for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will catch you for tomorrow's.